The Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Kohn. The City of Billings will move forward with plans envisioning a new future for the Magic City's downtown. Tonight, the City Council votes to extend a memorandum of understanding with the Hamas Group, the development group proposing a major project for downtown Billings. The One Big Sky Center project no longer just a tall building, but now a term to redevelop downtown. Q2's Dustin Kleeman with us tonight with more on why this is another important step in the proposal. Dustin.
Good evening, Jay. That memorandum does not obligate any funds from the city. A term sheet, one that could be presented before the end of the year, would be discussed and decided upon by City Council. Now, what will be in that term sheet is yet to be determined. The One Big Sky Center would be split into two phases, as you see on your screen, and could add up to about $350 million in public investment, about $1.8 billion in private investment. Now, those numbers, they're not hard, there are no bids, just estimates right now. But by February 11th, we could get a better idea of what the public-private partnership could look like.
I don't think that we're going to have a fully negotiated development agreement completed by February 12th. I don't believe that all the business planning will be completed by February 12th. I think that a pathway to that will be better defined for us by that date.
We'll continue following that. Also tonight, Council heard from nearly a dozen residents opposed to the Den Bar and Casino's relocation near Bensteel Middle School on Grand Avenue. Council, though, did not create an initiative to reconsider. Jay? All
right, thanks, Dustin. Well, the city of Laurel will begin the search for a new mayor if the town's mayor-elect decides not to quit his day job. Dave Wagner, who won election in November, works for the city of Laurel as a water treatment operator. But the city's charter says a city employee cannot also be the town's mayor. That's because it's a job that has authority over hiring and firing. In a meeting today with city officials, Wagner was told if he's not going to accept the job, the council will soon to begin advertising for an interim mayor. An interim mayor would serve for 2 years. Wagner says today's meeting helped alleviate tension between the two sides, and he tells us he's now leaning toward declining the position that he was elected to just last month.
I don't want to cause problems for the city. You know, any legal thing, any money like that, I want it to run smoothly. So if they need a mayor on January 2nd, they will have one. I just wish that this could have been ironed out before 4 months afterwards, and I'm elected and I can't get a straight answer. And now they finally sat down. We're really decent. I appreciated it. I just thought it was really a nice discussion that we had. It was, it was very good, and they understood me and I understood what they're saying.
Wagner said he'll notify the city of his decision next week. Laurel's mayor, by the way, receives a salary of $10,000 a year. The state's Political Practices Commissioner rules that the Montana Democratic Party violated key reporting requirements during the 2016 election. Commissioner Jeff Mangan says the party failed to identify the candidates it supported when it used $300,000 of independent expenditures in the 2016 election. That, according to the commissioner, is a violation of state law. Mangan also found that the party failed to disclose it would be spending money to support Montana's Supreme Court candidate Dirk Sandifer. The party's independent expenditures not only supported Governor Steve Bullock and Sandifer, but also several Democratic legislative candidates. The political consultant who filed the complaint says he feels it's ironic that a party often touting openness in campaigns did not follow the rules.
Here's the real irony, right? I mean, you've got the Montana Democratic Party for years that have tried to be, the champions of openness in government and sunshine and light bulbs and campaign finance reporting. Steve Bullock made a name for himself in this nationally. It was Steve Bullock's commissioner, John Modell, who wrote these rules. It was their legislators that voted for them and approved and changed these laws, and now they can't even follow them.
Eaton often consults with Republican candidates. Democratic Party officials in Montana say the commissioner's electronic reporting system did not accept some of the filings of who the party supported, and they now say they have updated that information. Mangan says he'll likely negotiate a fine with the party, which says it will work with the commissioner to resolve the issue. Mangan did dismiss part of Eaton's complaint that alleged illegal coordination between the Democratic Party and Supreme Court candidate Sandifer's campaign. In Great Falls, a man is dead following the city's third officer-involved shooting in less than a year. Great Falls Police Chief Dave Bowen says the man was armed and had his weapon in his hand at the time of the shooting. At a briefing this afternoon, Bowen said around 10:30 this morning, officers were looking for a man wanted for questioning related to an earlier incident. When that man was located, he pulled out a weapon. When he pointed it at officers, he was shot and killed. None of the officers were injured. Police have yet to identify the suspect. A final push tonight from both the Republican and Democrat vying for the Alabama Senate seat held previously by President Trump's Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Doug Jones is trying to do something no Democrat in Alabama has done for 25 years. That is, get elected to the U.S. Senate. Republican Roy Moore, a Christian conservative, anti-establishment, former state chief justice, was the heavy favorite until at least 9 women made sexual misconduct allegations, all of which he has denied. The polls vary widely heading into tomorrow's vote, pointing to one thing, that no one is certain exactly what will happen. Alabama's other senator, by the way, Republican Richard Shelby, cast an absentee ballot. He said he did not vote for Moore, but wrote in the name of another Republican. Authorities in New York City trying to piece together what led an immigrant from Bangladesh to detonate a pipe bomb in New York's busiest subway station at the height of the morning rush. At least 5 people were hurt. The 27-year-old suspect was the only one seriously injured, but 5 other people did suffer minor injuries. Police say the man's low-tech bomb was strapped to his body. The suspect came to the U.S. on a visa 7 years ago. The largest of the wildfires burning in California, still forcing people to flee their homes. The Thomas Fire, now the 5th largest wildfire in California history. It has destroyed more than 230,000 acres. The Thomas Fire started a week ago, driven by those intense Santa Ana winds. More than 800 homes have burned in this fire. The cost to fight it, nearly $40 million already. Thousands of homes are still threatened by the flames. On to the weather scene now. From fire to ice last year here in Billings. Well, quite the contrast to this year. Bob McGuire here now with some pictures to jar our memory a little bit,
This
Bob.
is going to blow your mind. You're going to say, oh, yeah, I remember that. Well, we start off with, here's what's happening this week. We've got a pretty nice week. Temperatures into the 40s and 50s, not so bad. Now, let me show you what we had last week. You'll notice only into the teens for highs and sub-zero temperatures for overnight lows. And look at some of the snow depths. On Tuesday, we had 5 inches of snow. By Wednesday, up to 6 inches. Got up to 20 inches of snow at the airport. That was the snow depth on Friday. Then it rolled it back to about 18 inches on Saturday. And you know, look how cold it is. Finally, we warm up a little bit on Monday, and the snow depth goes to 15. But take a look at some of the pictures. This is what it looked like back then. These pictures come from John Ojeda. This is when we had 20 inches of snow on the ground. This is East Clubhouse Way. Look at how it drifted there. That's just south of Skyview. Here is 27th Street south into that. And look at this bit. What a mess that was. And that's what we had just a year ago today. And it looks like our weather is not going to be anywhere near that for the week to come. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few more minutes, Jay.
All right, thank you, Bob. If you were planning on purchasing a deer tag to take part in FWP's special chronic wasting disease hunt, it's too late. Those licenses sold out in just a few hours this morning. Bob Gibson with FWP says 1,200 tags went on sale at 5 this morning, and all were sold out by 8 a.m. The special hunt begins Friday, and it's all in hopes of collecting a statistically viable sample of the mule deer and whitetail populations in Carbon County. This fall, for the first time, 6 deer tested positive for the fatal neurological disease. FWP needs to determine just how prevalent that disease is and its distribution. After filling their tags, hunters will be required to bring in their deer for CWD testing. Each successful hunter will be issued a serial number, and that number then connected to a database where hunters will be able to keep tabs on the results of the sample they provided. Now, until a sample is cleared of chronic wasting disease, the meat of the deer should not be consumed or given to pets. Anyone with questions or concerns are invited to a public meeting that happens Thursday in Joliet this week. That meeting starts at 7 p.m. Thursday night at the Joliet Community Center. Next on tonight's 10 o'clock news, it's a look back at a heroic but deadly rescue of an Olympian. Abducted by a duo known as the Montana Mountain Men. We'll look back 33 years ago this week. Plus, Big Sky movies are going to be on the big screen at the Sundance Movie Festival. Those details. And later in sports, the culmination of one of the greatest prep football careers in state history. Tonight we hear from new Gatorade Player of the Year, Gabe Salser.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Kohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.